Hi everybody, this is Lindsay from Legacy Brand Photography. Today I'm going to talk to you about making sure your business is prepared and that you're ready for Christmas time. So one of the most important things we need to remember is in the last 2 months of the year, 20 to 40% of yearly sales tend to happen for small to mid-sized businesses, mainly brick and mortar. So Christmas is definitely a really good time to prepare for. I know this is kind of last minute with this coming out in December. Normally you want to prepare really as early as possible. Some people start around late October, but really now is better than never. So if you don't have anything planned, don't worry. You can still incorporate things within your business just to give yourself that extra boost in sales to bring in the end of your new year strong. So not only will this cause an increase in sales with any marketing that you can do, but it also is a good time for you to connect either with families, build relationships with the businesses in your areas, but also with your customers and your clients as well. So some of the ideas that I have for you is one thing that you can do is create a window display. So if you have a storefront and you have a really nice window up in the front, store displays for Christmas do an immense amount of difference. I have a friend and she even said in her town there was a local marina shop selling marina things, but the only thing that they did was add just a little miniature house in the middle of the display with some of their items, and people around the entire town would still come and look at it. So it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It doesn't have to be elaborately decorated. Seriously, little or minimal is better than going way overboard. So even something as small as that, Mr. and Mrs. Claus, or even Santa with a sleigh little display within the set can even just give it that oomph just for it to be within the holiday, and just help bring the warmness that people have around this season. And sometimes they end up being more okay with shopping now than any other time of the year. But that is one option if you don't have a window display. One of the main things that you need to remember whenever you're setting it out, besides less is more, is think about what your focal point is. So whatever you want your focal point to be within the window display, just make sure when you step back and look at it that that's where your eyes end up being directed toward. So that's really the main thing that you would need to think about. Another option that you can do if you're not already doing it is have a sale. Normally something like 30% off of like your most popular item or whatever your signature item is. That is one thing that you can do as an option. Another thing you can do is make a discount, so when you make a discount, it's best just to be either a straight discount on something, or even $1 towards something, instead of like, come in and buy a bunch of things and we'll give you a free pair of socks. So if people don't really want any more socks at that point, just having some extra item that's catered to one particular person won't serve you as well as either just a straight dollar towards an item, a free black coffee if you're a coffee shop, or just anything else in the store. I mean, people are in there to get what you have. So if it's a discount towards something that they already want, it's definitely going to be a win at that point. Another thing that you can do is you can hold an event. If you're on a street with a bunch of other businesses, you guys can get together, have something for the whole block. Locally, we have Christmas events where there will be vendors. You can have things like jugglers, you can have food trucks, you can have face painters, fire breathers. I mean, you could do anything. You could have the local high school choir come out and do carols. You could seriously do anything that would just bring more people into that area. If you're over by yourself or the other businesses don't want to get together with you, you can obviously do just an event for your store. So if it's for your store, an even better idea then is to cater directly to the type of items that you have. So for instance, if you sell kitchen supplies, then you would want to possibly look into either how to design a recipe book or a cooking class. Or if you have a yoga studio or you have a gym, look into maybe some free exercise class, or even even a lecture on either nutrition or which exercises work better for which things. So these are other different types of events that can come in and bring people in. And one way when you're scheduling event, just kind of think about your audience and take a step back for a moment. You can even ask your employees if you have any. Just think to yourself, is this something I would go to? I tend to be more introverted, so I don't go to as many things. So for me asking that question, it's going to be a much bigger question than somebody that's more likely to go to everything. But just actually legitimately ask yourself, would I be willing to leave my house or get my whole family together to come out to whatever that you have to offer? And if the answer is yes, and even better if it's an excited yes, then I would say you would have a winner on your hands. So that is one thing. The other thing, if you can't figure out, if that's not something you can figure out yourself, if that's a good idea whether to go or not, is what benefit does that provide to your customer? If you can't think of any benefit that they would have from coming, then they're probably not going to come. So another good idea is still email campaigns. I know everything we've got going on with social media, a lot of people push towards social media ads. But the last article that I'd looked up said that email campaigns are still 3 times more effective than a lot of social media ads. And part of that, I'm sure, goes along with the fact that if you've already built some sort of email list or membership or anything of that nature, you already have people that are interested, so it's already going to your targeted audience. So if you do go with social media ads instead of an email campaign, definitely make sure your ads are targeted to your audience. But with the email campaigns, the average customer order based off of an email is still normally 17% more. So if you're not doing it, I'm guilty. It might be something to look into. I'm speaking to myself because I don't do that, and I should. So that is something good to think about. Okay, so the next thing that I have is a gift to your customers. So another thing that you can do for Christmas time is think of something that you can give to them. So one of the things I'd mentioned before is a discount. Another idea that I'd had was providing a Christmas wrapping station. I'm the type of person that I absolutely love wrapping presents. So to me, I think this is a fantastic idea. But a Christmas wrapping station has worked really well. I know there is one year my family went shopping, and that is one of the main reasons that I went to Cracker Barrel and I bought either treats or jewelry or, well, mostly treats. It was mostly treats, let's be honest, for my family, because I knew while I was there, they would even wrap it. And I had kids at the house, which means by the time I bring it home, they're probably already trying to look in the bag. But if you're a place that already has a Christmas wrapping station, one, if you're not somebody that likes to wrap presents, that's a win because it's going to look great anyway. But you don't have to worry about your kids seeing it. So at that point, you just have to worry about, can they guess what size the box is and can they guess it from there? But that's one of my favorites, is a Christmas wrapping station. Granted, I know not everybody is going to have the space, let alone either have a volunteer or someone that you want to pay to do that. I'll let you know my number if you need somebody. I'm just saying. Another option, though, is you can also give a charitable donation as well with any purchase. So there are plenty of good causes out. There might be one that your business is already supporting. You're more than happy. I mean, you can support that one, or you can even support a new one. You can do Salvation Army or Toys for Tots or Operation Christmas Child if you want it straight Christmas based. But I know I included in the bunch, even if there are places where I might not want to spend as much money. If I know there's going to be a charitable donation or a certain item that is going to be donated when I get it, I'm definitely more likely to spend more money, for sure. On top of that, a lot of people like to invest in a local business that also invests in others. So it's kind of a double win if you're already a small business. Not only do I get to support a local business like you, I can also support a ministry or a missions or someone else that's also doing some good in this Christmas season. So that's another one of my favorites. Another option that isn't always available for everyone, but free shipping or delivery is also a good option. But really I like the first two better because there's already a lot of people that do free shipping. It might be something that you already do. So it's just trying to find something that's maybe outside of your norm or outside of your normal wheelhouse of items that you could add either as an event or something fun or that would bring your community together. That would help boost your Christmas sales. So along with that and preparing for Christmas, being a brand photographer, one of the main things I'm going to point out in all of this, even in making sure with your event displays and also within if you're taking your own pictures or you're hiring somebody, whatever, whichever decor you're taking pictures of, whichever pictures are going to be up on your website, you need to make sure you're trying to stay on brand. So make sure you've got your own items within the pictures, your own items as props in pictures. If you have a brand color, for instance, like Knowledge Perk, one of their big colors is like a dark orange. So even if it's a dark orange velvet ribbon on a present, just make sure you incorporate your brand, at a minimum your brand colors, if not your brand products, within the pictures, just to make sure that everything is still staying together and everything will still point back to your business and everything that you do. So those are my main tips for dealing with Christmas stuff. I'll be back with more later.